We're back with another Attack on Titan video, and I was really excited to jump into Season 2 after finishing Season 1. Obviously, I wanted to see more Levi, but also all the other characters. This is a great series for a revolving cast. Like, you could have an episode about a certain character, and it's really good. It doesn't matter who it is. That being said, I'm ready to get into my review of Season 2, and this is going to have spoilers in it, so be aware of that. If you don't want spoilers for Season 2 of AOT, this is something you enjoy, let me know. Leave a comment if you want to review on a different series, what you'd like to see, but we're going to get into this one. We start where we left off with the Wall Titan, and I'm still kind of freaked out of this thing because it came out of left field. We get formally introduced to Pastor Nick, and let me tell you, this dude is hardcore. Hanji holds him off a ledge, and he's like, sorry, still can't tell you, you know, my religion don't falter. If that was me, I'd be like, God, I'm sorry, I'll pay for my sins later, but they gotta know. I can't die here. We barely get enough time to recover from the Wall Titan when we get told that Wall Rose is being breached, and like, can I have a minute here? I'm reeling from the other thing that's going on, and like, y'all are just... y'all are like overloading me. We get a flashback of a bunch of characters we met last season and a really cool dude named Meech, and I actually kind of like him. He's pretty cool. And oh, what the fuck is that? Also, he can talk and like study ODM gear. This is kind of crazy. I know he's probably a human like Annie and Eren, but still, neither one of them showed this much intelligence when they were in their Titan form. I can barely process what was happening in this first episode. It was really packed. Back in the present, Hanji and Armin used their big old brains. That the Wall Titans probably are what gives the Wall the strength, and that makes a lot of sense actually. It's kind of crazy to think about, but if they can use abilities like Annie can, then I can imagine how having a wall made out of them would be structured very well. And this is kind of a problem I have with Armin, not as a character in general, just how they kind of wrote him. Child geniuses are sort of something I never really like to see in series, and like, he can be smart, but he's shown to think on the same levels as Hanji and Erwin, who's been doing their job for I don't know how many years and are supposed to be like elites. So like, it's just a small problem I have with it. Not saying Armin shouldn't be smart or anything, it's weird that he's been consistently thinking at the levels of them. I know he's a genius. But onto some other characters, we really get some good development with Sasha, which I was happy to see. I mean, the only thing we really got to see from her for the first season was her being hungry and kind of a comic relief spot. But she wants to go warn her dad, which is sweet, and ends up seeing this girl who's in the corner while her mom's getting eaten, and this scene kind of messed me up. I was like, oh god, this is just brutal. Take this little girl who's just sitting in the corner quietly versus Eren, who is like screaming for his mom. This world has been changed in the past 5 or 6 years. She gets the kid out and does some cool stuff with her bow and arrow while the kid gets away. And guess who the kid found? It was Sasha's dad. So great seeing a family get together, and it's really heartwarming. Oh. Man, Connie, I'm sorry that sucks for you. Thankfully, 2 senior cadets tell him that there isn't any blood anywhere and that's more than likely that his family gets out. Why does this have to be so creepy? Like, I can't be happy for Connie that his family got away because we have to hear... Ymir wants the Elder Scouts to let her and Chris leave, which Ymir has such a lady boner for Krista. It's kind of adorable and creepy at the same time. I'd be pretty pleased and appalled if Ymir was like, protective over me. Like, that'd be like, oh, and also like, do I know you? Get away. They meet up with another group, and it turns out that there wasn't a breach in the wall. How? How is there not a breach? Do you see literally all these Titans and that thing that are in here? The only thing that makes sense is that the Titans are inside the walls beforehand, or that Hannes' dumbass missed a hole. Either way, they're viable options. Oh, and hey, our main character. Hanji tells Eren that he could start sealing the walls with a hardening ability that Annie used. Hell yeah, Annie being useful, even in Crystallized, non-talking, not able to develop as a character any state. I miss her. Pastor Nick finally does spill some tea, saying that Krista is the key to everything. How? What does she have to do with it? Is she a Titan? A child super genius? What's going on in that innocent little head of hers? Sasha busted in saying Mr. Commander told him to go to the castle where everyone else is, and the big ol' hairy Titan known as the Beast Titan, which is a very fitting name, is leading the other Titans to the castle to wreck everyone else. We get another small flashback here of all the cadets in the castle. Connie's still scarred by the talking Titan, which I don't blame him. I can kind of sympathize with Connie here. Ymir can read a fancy tuna can, and that makes Reiner suspicious. I don't think he can use his brain too well, so I can see why he'd get weirded out by reading. The Titans attack and the senior scouts hold them off while Reiner gets his arm chopped off, and now he can't really use his brain or his arm, and it just really sucks for him. The seniors do an incredible, and I mean incredible, job of killing off the Titans. Beast Boy over here throws a rock and kills the group's horse. Dude, I mean, you're being such a menace. Can you not let them have one win? This has been a terrible day for literally everyone besides you. A second round of Titans come in and get their revenge for their fallen comrades. The Titans are about to start knocking down the tower, but Ymir is like, not my Krista, and turns into a Titan. What the fuck? Out of everyone in this group here, she was the last on my list I thought would turn into a Titan. Hell, even old No Name over here was higher up than her. Apparently she made a promise with Krista about something to do with this a while back. What does Krista know? Is she a Titan? What's going on here? Is this what Pastor Nick knows about? I'm so confused. I'm just trying to figure everything out. So apparently during the wintertime, Ymir and Krista were helping a classmate who was incapacitated back to the ski lodge after their mountain hike. Ymir was ridiculing Krista for this and said a lot of mean things to her, along with mentioning that Krista is a nobleman's illegitimate daughter and was forced to join the army. You know, basic stuff that you just casually spill out. This whole season is absolutely bonkers. Ymir does end up breaking down and helping Krista help the dude out, and it's kind of nice to see that she really does care about Krista so much. Speaking about Ymir, she can keep her full intelligence while in the Titan form, just like the Beast Titan. I mean, because, you know, the last time we saw Eren do it, it took him a minute to get back into his right mind. Krista is basically like, knock us over, fool, to beat the rest of them. Everyone jumps up on Ymir as the tower falls, and she ends up saving all of them. But way to speak up for everyone else here, Krista, you know? Not like they wanted their tower to get knocked over. Hanji and their team comes in to save the day, and Krista reveals that her real name is Historia Rice. I think I liked Krista more. As they're getting ready to take Ymir back for some help, Hannes rolls back up and says there's for sure no hole in the wall. Then how did... I knew he looked familiar, and I don't really know what's more shocking about him. That he's the Colossal Titan, or we finally get to know his name. Reiner tells Eren that he's just joined him. All the human destruction wouldn't have to happen anymore. Yeah, I'm sure. You seem like you'd lie. I can't believe I ever trusted you. God, it's like I'm talking to my ex-girlfriend. The scroll that Sasha brought showed that these two came from the same area as Annie, so they were under suspicion. Good call, Erwin. Mikasa overheard them tell this to Eren, and man, we almost really didn't have to worry about all this. She nearly kills both of them, but they end up transforming right before she can, and they snag Ymir. Eren said, no, you already got a Titan friend, Reiner. This one's gonna be mine. Bertolt eats Ymir, and this is kind of interesting because that's the same thing that Annie tried to do to Eren. And also, screw this dude for having a lot of really cool abilities. Like, he blew steam out and almost killed a huge number of scouts. Reiner started pummeling Eren, and I mean, it was about to turn into a World Star fight bad. But Eren remembers the hand-to-hand combat that he learned from Annie, again, still being useful even though she isn't in the show right now. You gotta love her. You gotta love her. Eren almost gets Reiner done for, but Bertolt has to be a bad sport about it and sends his decaying Titan on top of Eren. He blew so much steam that every scout was just about wiped out, all getting knocked out, basically. And Reiner was able to free himself and got Eren. So these two kidnapped these two, and I'm annoyed. Not at the show or anything, but just as how the scouts would be. The situation sucks. And I got really bad anxiety with the situations here, so I'm just sitting curled up on my computer like, what the fuck? And this is where I start to feel really bad for Mikasa and Armin, because it seems that all their lives they have to worry about Eren, and that just really doesn't seem fun. But this does lead to a very nice, heartwarming discussion between Mikasa and Hannes. He tells her that Eren's gonna be okay, and he always fights back, and I really enjoyed this. It was a nice counterbalance to everything else that's been going on. Erwin makes a plan to get Eren back while Reiner and Bertolt recover. We meet someone in Hanji's squad, and they seem pretty cool. Too bad his name's Moblet. Even back in the olden age, I'm sure that's a name you'd probably get picked on for. Let me know in the comments if you or anyone you know is named Moblet, and I'll apologize. He's gonna go back to Connie's home village to check out something for Hanji, and Reiner, who actually uses his brain, I think that was another thing we seemed to lie about, use it to make it to where Eren and Ymir can't escape when they wake up. It's a pretty solid plan so him and Bertolt can recover. Reiner also has a really bad problem distinguishing whether he's a soldier for the cadets or the other thing he's doing, which I'm assuming has to do with that big brown titan. At least we get to see that he has a little bit of humanity, I guess. I still hate him though. Ymir's worried about the beast titan, and thank you, I'm glad somebody's worried about it, because we have not heard too much of anything, and just ew. Reiner gets to use that brain for a second time, and screw him because he's kind of playing with Ymir's emotions here. Ooh, they're gonna hurt Historia. Oh, hey look, the cavalry's here. Moblet finds out that Connie's mother was indeed that titan that was on the roof, and I just really hope that she looked better while she was alive, and oh my god, that was just out of pocket. I'm sorry. Ymir asks Reiner and Bertolt if they can take Historia with them, and we get a flashback of her life. Just when I thought this series couldn't get any more fucked up, they introduce a cult. They took a homeless child to make her think she was royalty. That's, you know, just a basic rule of thumb for life here. That's not a good thing to do, alright? Anyways, the cops come and inject her with a cult-free juice, and oh, that's Titan juice apparently. But she eats a kid and gets back to a normal person. Turns out this kid was Reiner and Bertolt's friend, which, haha, you kind of deserve that, guys. He may have not, but you two definitely did. And her whole thing about her true identity is what helps her bond with Historia so much. She eats Historia to kidnap her. Oh wait, she's regurgitated and yucky. She made up some lie about how she's gonna die if she didn't turn Historia in, blah blah blah, whatever. It's probably a lie. The 104th cadets try to reason with Bertolt, but he's like, nah. But Erwin's got a big brain play about running Titans in Reiner, so he has to drop Eren and Bertolt, which, good job, you beautiful blonde bastard. Oh no. But hey, Armin can play psychological warfare with Bertolt about Annie, and I have to say, it'll work on me too. Oh hey, Historia's back too. Reiner isn't going down without a fight though, as he starts throwing Titans at everyone. Oh no, not this bitch. Sadly, Hannes dies fighting this Titan, which just seems like a reoccurring cycle with this one, huh? Am I right? Eren just can't transform, which causes him to have a mental breakdown. Probably not the time for that. Everyone around you's kind of panicking and dying too. But hey, here we are. Mikasa has a nice speech with him and it fires him back up. And when you touch the smiling Titan, it gave him a weird power to control other Titans. And apparently it's called the Coordinate. So that's actually insane. I can see why Reiner and Bertolt wanted to get him back so bad. And for some reason, Ymir went back to help them. I really didn't understand this decision. She could have had a chance to go back home with Historia, but whatever. And Eren feels terrible about all the people who died to protect him, and he wants to use his new power to get retribution for him. Which, hey, I'm happy for. Good on you, dude. We also get to see the Beast Titan's human form, and that's not what I thought he would look like. So that's what I got for Season 2. Overall, I liked it a lot more than Season 1. There was a lot more structure in the season. My only problem was, which you could probably tell, is that there was so much information going on so quickly. I was kind of confused about what to fixate on. Between Krista's story and what was going on with Reiner and Bertolt, I was just reeling from all of it. There was just so much to catch in 12 episodes. But I am happy that there was more character development. My favorite character from this season was probably Hanji. I know I didn't bring him up a good chunk in this review, but they had so many moments and growth in this season that I really couldn't just fit in here. But overall, I'd probably have to give the season a 9.3 out of 10, just because of how like quick everything was coming. But I can't wait to get to Season 3, which I'll give you a little spoiler for that, is my favorite season by far. So let me know what you thought about the video and what you want me to see and what you want me to review next. And I'll see you next time. Peace.